Alright, so I'm back. I don't think it's much lighter in here, but maybe. Um, so I'll just get into the first topic. So the Super Bowl just ended. That was not a good game. That was a horrible game, but that's what Brady being Brady is gonna be like. So that's out of the way. Now it's time to flip to NASCAR. For me, anyway, keeps me through the months. I still follow with. I'm a Hornets fan as well. So I'm still keeping up with Hornets basketball, but Sundays are dedicated to the race and some Saturdays. You know how the schedule goes. So just a little backdrop on my fanhood. I started out when I was 3. NASCAR taught me how to count. Just the repetition, I guess, of going around and counting up, and it just clicked in my head. And I learned how to count. I knew which driver was in which car. That was like a moment of pride for my parents for like 3 years, 4 years. Like, he knows every driver that's in every car. I still remember that, and I used to just brag about it. That's probably where I got my head filled for the first time as a kid. But anyway, I started out as a Dale Jarrett fan. Of course, I stayed a Jarrett fan through UPS. He went and retired and everything. Uh, so I was like, well, I want to stay on with Ford. And at the time, Roush was still a really good team. They've kind of fallen back, but they were still a bigger team. So I started pulling for Matt Kenseth. I had always liked that car. The DeWalt car. It always looked really good. Um, so fast forward, he gets moved from Roush and signs with Gibbs and into the 20 car. And so I stayed a Kenseth fan the time that he threw the 20 car. And it was weird because I had to wear a Dollar General hat like to a lot of places when I would go to the race. Anyway, I'm right outside Charlotte, so NASCAR is big here. Go to the races at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So been to All Star races, October races. I think I went to a 600 when I was younger. I got to get back. But stayed a Kenseth fan. He retired, so I was like, well, let me stay with the 20, and I stayed with the 20 car. Was a fan of Eric Jones and thought that he had some glimpses of being a really good driver. I wish him good over in the 43 now, but I gotta stick with the 20 unless they put a driver in that car that I just cannot stand. Absolutely hate. Then I will turn my back on the 20 team. But I have to link it. I'm a gotta link things together kind of person. So I'm gonna stay a fan of the 20. With Christopher Bell coming up, he did really good in that first qualifier tonight. Maybe another, you know, mile or half a mile, he probably would have won that race. He was really good. But he's going to be starting up near the front, second row or third row, fifth. So shout out Christopher Bell. I think he's going to win some races and get that 20 back in victory lane. Um, I like Bubba Wallace. I know that's a point of like weirdness for NASCAR fans because of everything that happened, over the last summer and it being brought into sports. I think that drivers should and athletes should have the freedom to speak with how they want, and as long as they're consistent and they give a good product, who cares about their opinions? They're just regular people. Like, my job doesn't define who I am. Like, you can be a basketball player, but you're not just a basketball player. That's what you do because you love to do it and you have a passion, and that was designed for you. But you can have other opinions, and I fully welcome that, and I fully commit to what Bubba's doing. I think he's opening a lot of eyes. It's just there's a lot of deep roots, in NASCAR that go back historically. It's a Southern sport. They've reached out, but a large portion of the fan base are in the American South, and as long as that's the case, then you're gonna have pushback on that kind of stuff because that's just the way it is down here. Like, I don't want to say like we should just stop at that because it's just the way it is, but we can push the needle forward, but we're not. We're only pushing it that much forward to what the people before us did, and unfortunately, I feel like it's going to take much, much longer to get to where we need to go. But I pull for Bubba. I was pulling for him in that second race tonight. He had him. I think he just got. I think the bad thing with him is he just drove off too far um, from the car behind him. I think it was Kyle Busch that was pushing him. Once he had that gap, you've seen it almost every time at Talladega and Daytona. Once you get a push and you break that draft a little bit, you don't have a run anymore. And that 3 and that 4 staying together like that he had no chance, man. It was either and shout out to Austin Dillon for having the wherewithal just to cut that thing left and get up under him, because if not, he was going to crash Bubba and take out all those primary cars for the 500. I don't think that's a move that Bubba should have made in that sort of race. If you're going for the Daytona 500, by all means, man, go for it. And I was rooting for you because I want to see a bunch of mad people on the NASCAR comments page, but I wanted to see you win, and I know you want to shut them up and you like sticking it to them a little bit, but at the same time, it's like it was still a qualifying race, man. So still rooting for you and Michael Jordan. Jordan, I'm a Hornets fan. I support Jordan. So I'm just gonna rock with you two. The 20 and the 23. I've actually got my girlfriend. She's not been into racing ever. I think it's just one of the things about me that she tolerates. Doesn't necessarily like, but I can. It gives her somebody to root for. And really, I think with NASCAR, you just really need a favorite driver to root for, and you'll have fun watching the race, especially going to one. I can't wait till this pandemic's over and I can take her to a race up here. But that is all for this video. Shout out Eric Almirola for winning that first race. It's like he's a good guy, even though he is a Bucks fan. He's a nice driver. Hopefully he does good, better than Harvick on the Stewart-Haas teams. But that's just my personal opinion. I'm excited for the 500. Unfortunately, it's on Valentine's Day, so don't exactly know how that's going to work with my girl yet. I'm hoping she lets me watch it, but I'm gonna bank on that. But thanks y'all for tuning in. Next time I definitely have to